don't know about y'all, but I don't feel bad for Alicia Keys. If you haven't heard what's going on, Alicia Keys has allegedly filed for divorce from her husband, citing that he has another baby on the way. It has also been said, allegedly, that he is sleeping with LaLa Anthony. Yes. But I don't feel bad for Alicia Keys because when she met him, he was in a loving marriage with a beautiful black woman, and she broke this man's marriage up. Her name was Mashonda. Yeah. Mashonda called Alicia Keys a homewrecker. And I must agree, she is a homewrecker. You cannot build a home on another woman's pain. Karma will not miss. Yes, karma took a while to come back around, but karma don't miss, baby. It don't. So I'm trying to figure out why Alicia Keys is so mad. You didn't expect what you did to another woman to come back around to you?
She was like, treat people how you want to be treated. And that is always how I think about it.
Like, you built a home off another woman's pain, off another woman's tears, and you expect it to live happily ever after. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So no, I don't feel bad for Alicia Keys, not one bit. And I know the first wife, Mashonda, is laughing right now. She's laughing right now. What goes around comes on back around. How you get them is how you lose them.
I felt like I had to protect myself from being hurt from people that I love. But I couldn't figure out how I was gonna make it.
Welcome back to StarHush, the spot where secrets don't stay secrets for long, and the whispers of the streets turn into fireworks overnight. And wow, this time, it looks like Alicia Keys didn't just clap back. She dropped a bomb so loud it rattled every corner of the internet. Word is, Alicia straight up accused LaLa Anthony of being secretly engaged to her man, Swizzy. And let me tell you, this wasn't some shady side comment whispered in a corner. Nope. Allegedly, she put it out there in a way so bold that the whole world had no choice but to hear it. And that one move turned a quiet rumor into a full-blown trending scandal. But here's where it gets wild. The more you pull at this thread, the less it feels like a random outburst, and the more it looks like a game that's been in play for years. Was LaLa really living that double storyline? Or is someone pulling strings behind the scenes, stirring up drama like a storm just to watch the chaos unfold? Because now we've got old photos resurfacing, captions that suddenly feel way too shady, and insiders whispering things that make this mess look like it's been simmering forever. And let me be real, the pieces just don't click together neat and clean. This whole thing is like a puzzle missing half the box picture. Makes you ask yourself, would it make us look totally reckless if we even said the unthinkable out loud? Street Talk says Alicia didn't just keep this private. She went all the way public with it, forcing everyone to side-eye, not only her marriage, but her entire circle. And the wildest part? The moment she spoke, people started piecing together things we've all seen before. Tiny little moments, random snapshots, captions, and slips of the tongue that we ignored back then, but now feel like giant red flags waving in our faces. Once those puzzle pieces lined up, the internet didn't just pay attention, it blew up. Every post, every meme, every tweet, every grainy photo sighting, it all became part of this fiery storm. The timelines went up like fireworks on the 4th of July. And here's the twist. One insider is claiming Alicia wasn't blindsided at all. Nope. According to them, she's been quietly clocking signs for a while. We're talking late-night messages, unexplained meetups, cryptic social media moves, all those little things that seem harmless alone but together. They suddenly look like a trail of clues leading straight to this explosion. So now the question that everybody's asking, was Alicia finally connecting the dots in real time, or did she already know everything and just decide she's done pretending with that smiling wife routine? Because if even a shred of these whispers is right, this so-called secret engagement might have been hiding in plain sight for years. And the deeper you dive into the timeline, the messier it all looks. Fake setups, staged appearances, carefully polished smiles that now feel like distractions, hiding something bigger. And let me tell you, the people online didn't waste a second. They jumped in like it was the juiciest tea spill of the year, flooding the comments with every reaction you can imagine. Some were shocked, jaws on the floor like, no way, Others were laughing, tossing jokes like it was comedy hour. And plenty more came ready with full sass, dragging everyone involved like the internet jury was already in session. And here's where the streets really started buzzing. One fan didn't hold back and dropped a comment that had the whole internet raising eyebrows. Wait, Swizz Beatz and LaLa Anthony are allegedly having an affair? Well, Alicia Keys, it's called karma, baby. You could practically feel the side eye through the screen. The shade was sharp because, let's be real, what goes around always comes back around. And to make it sting even more, fans reminded everyone that Alicia herself once sang her track Karma. And suddenly those lyrics were looping in everybody's head like a soundtrack for the moment. The comment section turned into a battlefield of memories. People were pulling receipts, dragging out the past, and reviving the old "how you got 'em is how you lose 'em" storyline. The narrative was flying left and right, and folks weren't letting this one slide. Fans were quick to remind each other exactly how Alicia and Swizz got together in the first place. And now that LaLa's name is being whispered into the mix, the whole thing feels like deja vu in the messiest way possible. Every comment carried this low hum of drama, like everyone knew something, but no one was saying it out loud directly. But then, this is where things flipped and started getting downright nasty. The very first time these LaLa and Swizz whispers touched the streets, Swizz himself turned into a one-man crisis control squad. Back then, people were already deep diving into LaLa's split with Carmelo Anthony, and just when the dust was settling, boom! Curveball accusations dropped that she was allegedly vibing with Swizz on the low. And don't think this came from a random gossip blog either. Radio host Ms. Jones actually claimed she got a DM straight from someone inside Swizz's own camp. The message allegedly said LaLa was in love with Swizz, but here's the kicker, he supposedly told her he wasn't leaving Alicia. Talk about messy receipts being dropped in plain view. Now Swizz, he wasn't about to sit back and let that ride, he stormed right into the comments like a man on a mission. And that's when he typed out what became one of his most infamous clapbacks. Knock it the F off, dropping it loud for the entire world to see. You could feel the energy of someone saying, enough. But the internet wasn't buying peace that quick, and apparently neither was Alicia, at least not at first. But here's where Swizz went into what people started calling full love bomb mode. He wasn't just defending his name online, oh no. He allegedly went above and beyond to prove his loyalty, throwing a birthday surprise for Alicia that was so over the top it had everyone talking. Rumor has it, he splurged on a luxury gift so massive it literally took 2 months to be delivered. And when it finally showed up, boom, it was a custom Maybach worth around $300,000. The type of flex that makes the streets stop talking for a second just to gasp. That gift wasn't just a car, it was a rolling statement saying, I'm locked in. But depending on who you ask, some people saw it as love, and others saw it as damage control dressed up with a price tag.
Period, huh?
All right, so are you pulling it back? Ready?
Okay, I don't know how to do this.
You just go like this and you pull this.
Yeah, pull it back. Follow easier. Sheesh.
It's crazy.
Nah, that's...
This is crazy.
Nah, in person?
And just when you thought the Maybach flex was the peak of it all, Swizz went even bigger. He didn't just stop at expensive gifts. He ran straight into the studio and used music as his megaphone. He actually remixed some of Alicia's songs, teaming up with rapper Marv Milley, who laced bars praising Alicia's artistry, her heart, her whole legacy. At one point, he even called her the R&B Rosa Parks. Like, hold up, how Rosa get dragged into this love story? The whole thing turned into a mix of romance, over-the-top gestures, and non-stop declarations designed to show the world, this is my queen. But here's the twist that's got folks rethinking everything. Maybe it wasn't just about love at all, because when you look back now, those big birthday gifts, the remixes, the tributes, they don't shine like pure romance anymore. Instead, they start to look like carefully planted distractions. Almost like Swizz was throwing smoke bombs, so Alicia never got too close to what might have really been happening behind the scenes. And just when you think this saga is strictly a LaLa situation, boom, another twist drops. Word on the curb is that Swizz allegedly got someone else pregnant, and not Alicia, not even LaLa, but supposedly a whole different woman entirely. And the plot thickens. Allegedly, she's a white woman. The second that rumor hit, the internet absolutely lost it. People were like, Wait, Swizz Beatz' secret side chick is pregnant and she's a white girl? Oh, Alicia Keys. Oh, wow! The reactions came fast, wild and unfiltered, turning comment sections into bonfires of disbelief. But with this mess, you already know nothing is ever that simple. Some fans are convinced that the so-called other woman is nothing but a cover story. They're saying the entire pregnancy angle might be smoke and mirrors, and that it's actually still tied to LaLa behind the curtain. In other words, the white girl talk might just be a decoy move to keep LaLa's name from being dragged through the headlines any harder than it already is. And if that theory holds weight, then wow, this takes the scandal to another level. Because that means Alicia might have been living inside a slow burn storm for years, smiling for the cameras while these rumors swirled quietly around her. A hidden chaos unfolding right in plain sight, while everybody else was just sipping tea, gossiping, and waiting for the next twist to drop. At this point, every layer of this tea feels like it's stacking higher and higher, bag after bag, drip after drip, boiling over like a pot nobody bothered to take off the stove. And honestly, when you look at the weight of everything, every rumor, every slip, every little distraction, it makes sense why Alicia might have decided to finally go public with this so-called secret engagement drama. There's just no way to brush it under the rug anymore. The history, the whispers, the receipts, it's all circling back and demanding attention. And speaking of history, let's not act like this is brand new energy. Long before the engagement scandal popped up, the vibe between LaLa and Swizzy had already raised more than a few eyebrows. So let's take it back and really break this down, because this thing didn't just appear out of thin air. It's been simmering in the background for years. Back when LaLa was still with Carmelo, she and Swizz were spotted around each other plenty of times. If you were paying attention, their body language wasn't just casual, it told a whole different story. Lingering looks that stretched a little too long, quiet conversations in the corner, those smiles that hang around just a beat past friendly. People watching were like, ooh, what's that about? And let's be real. Once you notice it, you can't unsee it. Remember that event where Alicia and Swizzy were giving the world some PDA, Alicia rocking that fresh no makeup vibe while they played the picture-perfect couple? Yeah, well, just a few feet away, whispers say LaLa and Swizz had their own little bubble going on. Not in your face obvious, but subtle. The kind of energy that made people lean in and go, that doesn't look just friendly. And then came the Met Gala moment. Cameras flashing, gowns sweeping, everybody showing off. LaLa hit the carpet and crossed paths with Swizz in front of the press. She was asking him questions, throwing compliments, keeping the vibe light but lively. And Swizz, he was smiling, laughing, playing right into the energy. Now, was it overly flirty? Not on the surface, but the spark, it was there. And plenty of eyes caught it in real time. Fans online still bring this up when they dig into the timeline, pointing out that while everything might have looked innocent on paper, the vibe between them was always different. Not scandalous enough to call out loud back then, but not subtle enough to ignore either. And when you stack that with today's rumors, those old clips and photos suddenly look way more suspicious. So while some folks are saying that was just friendly banter, y'all reaching, others are convinced this was the beginning of something bigger, a story that's only now boiling over for the whole world to sip on.
Looks of the night, bro, you know, you're not doing too bad yourself. You come through and shut it down every single time. Tell me what you both are looking forward to tonight.
Just having fun and seeing a lot of people we haven't seen in a long time. You know, this is a night of art, supporting the Met as artists and collectors ourselves, and we just want to have fun and just have that New York state of mind.
Of course, you have so many big New York records.
So here's the thing, when it comes to this so-called secret engagement, a lot of folks aren't even shocked anymore. For many people, this feels less like a bombshell revelation and more like the natural end game of an energy that's been simmering in plain sight for years. It's like this spark was always flickering, just waiting for the right moment to catch fire and turn into something undeniable. But let me tell you what really makes me side-eye LaLa in all of this. If you study her moves closely, it's like she's been playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. Every time the streets start connecting her name to Swizzy, out of nowhere, another man suddenly appears in her orbit, like clockwork. First, it was a New York City entrepreneur nicknamed Bear. Before that, there was another mysterious somebody. No real name ever attached, just whispers floating around. And every single time, she never confirms, she never denies, she just lets the speculation run wild. And that's the clever part. No couple pics on Instagram, no gushy captions, no public declarations, nothing. Which in hindsight looks like a genius play. While the public was out here chasing these side stories and running after distractions, nobody was paying full attention to the main narrative. Her rumored link to Swizz. If this really was her strategy all along, that's straight up PR mastery. A cool, calm way of controlling the narrative without ever opening her mouth. But here's the kicker. This whole quiet strategy is unraveling fast because all the side quests, cover-ups, and distractions in the world can't erase the fact that Alicia has now put LaLa's name front and center. And once that happens, suddenly the whispers, the false leads, the mystery boyfriends, they all start looking less like coincidences and more like deliberate smoke screens, cover-ups for the main drama brewing underneath. And here's where the internet refuses to let things slide. They never forgot how Alicia and Swizz started their own chapter. Flashback to 2010. The very same year Alicia married Swizz, he officially divorced Mashonda Tefrere. And Mashonda? She was out here speaking openly, saying Swizz had cheated and claiming Alicia knew he was still married when she got involved. She even said she was completely blindsided by the divorce, not even realizing he was about to tie the knot with Alicia just months later. Talk about a plot twist in real life. Now, over the years, Swizz, Alicia, and Mashonda have painted this picture-perfect blended family image, smiling for the cameras, standing united like it's all love. But let's be honest, plenty of fans never bought into that public act. People still drag up old interviews and photo ops, saying it looks polished on the outside but messy underneath. One fan put it in the rawest way possible. Swizz damaged that woman's heart. He didn't build a happy blend, he caused chaos and tried to normalize it with staged media photos. And with that history floating around, this new scandal doesn't feel random. It feels like history circling back with a vengeance, demanding to be acknowledged all over again. When you zoom in on this whole LaLa situation, it feels less like brand new tea and more like history looping right back around. The over-the-top gifts, the secretive whispers, the grand distractions, it's all giving deja vu. Alicia isn't just dealing with a random scandal thrown her way, she's facing the same pattern that's been chasing her for years. And this time, she's showing she's not about to sit quiet and let the same script play out again. Because let's be real, this isn't just Alicia calling out LaLa over a rumored engagement. Nope. This is Alicia drawing a bold line in the sand, sending a message loud and clear. History will not repeat itself without consequences. And here's the twist that's got the streets shaking. Sources are whispering that Alicia is gearing up to file for divorce. Yeah, you heard that right, divorce. And guess the reason? Allegedly, Swizzy might have fathered a child outside the marriage. That revelation had people scrambling with reactions. One person flat out said, Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz divorcing? Child, how you got 'em is how you lose 'em. The comment sections lit up instantly with debates, dragging up every past receipt and asking if karma had finally circled back. But this isn't just gossip, it goes deeper. Allegedly, the truth didn't come from whispers or blog chatter. It came through a court order and paternity test results. Imagine that. Legal paperwork landing in your hands telling you your partner might have been living a whole separate storyline behind your back. That's not just messy, that's a real-life soap opera playing out with receipts that can't be denied. And here's where it gets even more twisted, the timing. This news allegedly dropped right after Alicia and Swizzy went public with their 15 years of magic anniversary celebration on Instagram. Y'all remember those glossy posts, the smiling photos, the heartfelt captions, the perfect picture of a long-lasting love story? Yeah, well, if the timeline is right, Alicia might have been holding those paternity test results in her hand while posing for those very pictures. That's not just PR. It's a whole new level of composure most people couldn't even imagine pulling off. Diabolical control of the narrative, playing the public game while handling private chaos behind the scenes. And here's where the layers stack even higher. This isn't just a he cheated storyline. If these whispers are real, Swizz doesn't just have a side situation. He's allegedly got another child in the mix. And that raises a huge question that fans keep asking. Where exactly does LaLa fit into all of this? Because let's not forget, the engagement rumor is still spinning heavy, even while these paternity claims are bubbling up. So now the picture looks like a tangled web, anniversary smiles, secret paperwork, divorce whispers, and a possible engagement triangle that refuses to fade. The whole saga feels like it's spiraling into uncharted territory, with Alicia stepping into a fight she's clearly been preparing for. And here's the million-dollar question that has everybody leaning in. If Alicia really ends the marriage over this rumored baby, does that open the door for LaLa to slide from the alleged side piece into the spotlight as the official fiancé? The idea sounds messy, but when you look at the timing, it almost lines up too neatly. Like the universe is replaying an old song, only with a different lead vocal this time around. Stack that on top of the history between Alicia and Swizz. The way their love story first began, the accusations Mashonda once made, the carefully staged, blended family photo ops, and it's hard to ignore the full circle vibes. It feels like karma finally clocked in and said, time to collect. What goes around doesn't just come back, it comes back with receipts. Think about it. If LaLa really has been the one quietly waiting in the wings, then this isn't just another random scandal splashing across the internet. Nope. It starts looking like a full-on rerun of 2010, only flipped upside down, with Alicia now standing in the very position Mashonda once stood in. That's the diary page nobody thought would ever get rewritten, but here we are. And that's what leaves one last messy, juicy question floating in the air. Was this all part of a long, patient game, or just a chaotic storm of bad timing? Did LaLa play this whole thing like a long-term strategy, staying low until the moment was right? Or was it nothing but coincidence? Wrong place, wrong time, that just happened to explode right on Alicia and Swizz's big 15 years of magic anniversary celebration. The drama writes itself, and the internet refuses to look away. So now it's over to you, my stars, my hushers. What do you think? Was this fate? Was this karma? Or was this just a case of messy timing that spiraled out of control? Drop your thoughts down in the comments, because I need to know where y'all stand on this. And don't forget, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss the next spill, because trust me, this tea kettle is still boiling, and we've got plenty more heat coming your way. See you on the next one, my stars. Stay tuned, stay sipping, and stay watching.